In this video, I'm going to solve this question. Suppose the diameter at breast height of trees of a certain type is normally distributed with mean equal to 8.8 and standard deviation equal to 2.8 as suggested in this article. In part A, we have to find the probability that the diameter of a randomly selected tree will be at least 10 inches, and then we have to find the probability that it will exceed 10 inches. So first of all, let's say that x is a random variable that denotes the diameter of a tree. So it denotes the diameter of a tree. So we have to find the probability that x is at least 10 inches. So that means we have to find the probability that x is greater than or equal to 10. Well, this is equivalent to saying that we have to find the probability that x minus mu divided by sigma is greater than equal to 10 minus mu divided by sigma. So I have normalized x. We know that this is z and we are already given the values of mu and sigma in the question. So we can write that now we have to find the probability that z is greater than equal to 10 minus 8.8 divided by 2.8, and this is equal to the probability that z is greater than equal to 0.43. Now using the complement rule, we can write that this probability is equal to 1 minus probability that z is less than 0.43, and we can find this value from the standard normal table. So by looking at standard normal table, we find that this probability is equal to 0.6664. So the probability that z is greater than equal to 0.43 is equal to 0.3336. So this is the probability that x is greater than or equal to 10. Now in the next part, we have to find the probability that x is greater than 10. Note that x is a continuous random variable, and when we talk about a continuous random variable, the equal to sign does not matter. So the probability that x is greater than 10 is equal to the probability that x is greater than equal to 10. So that means the probability that x is strictly greater than 10 is also equal to 0.3336. So this is all about part A. Let's move to part B. In part B, we have to find the probability that the diameter of a randomly selected tree will exceed 20 inches. So that means we have to find the probability that x is strictly greater than 20. Well, we can normalize this and we can write that this is equivalent to finding the probability that x minus mu divided by sigma is greater than 20 minus mu divided by sigma. We know that this is z, so we can write that this is equal to the probability that z is greater than 20 minus 8.8 divided by 2.8, and this is equal to the probability that z is greater than 4. Well, using the complement rule, we can write that this probability is equal to 1 minus probability that z is less than or equal to 4. Now let's find the value of this probability by looking at the standard normal table. So this is a standard normal table, and as you can see, the maximum z value that we have in this standard normal table is 3.49. And when z is equal to 3.49, the cumulative probability associated with it is 0.9998. And as you can see, this probability is increasing as the value of z is increasing. So we can expect that the probability that z is less than or equal to 4 will be somewhere close to 1. So we can write that this probability is somewhere close to 1. So that means the probability that z is greater than 4 is approximately equal to 0. So this means the probability that the diameter will exceed 20 inches is approximately 0. So this is all about part B. Let's move to part C. In part C, we have to find the probability that the diameter of a randomly selected tree will be between 5 and 10 inches. So that means we have to find the probability that x is greater than 5 and less than 10. So now we can normalize it and we can write this is equivalent to saying that we have to find the probability that x minus mu divided by standard deviation is greater than 5 minus mu divided by sigma and is less than 10 minus mu divided by sigma. And this is equal to, we can substitute the value of mean and standard deviation. It's given to us in the equation. Mean is equal to 8.8 and standard deviation is equal to 2.8. So substituting these values, we find that we have to find the probability that x is greater than minus 1.36 and less than 0.43. Well, because this is a continuous random variable, we know that this is equal to the probability that z is less than 0.43 minus the probability that z is less than minus 1.36. So now this is what we have to find. Well, by looking at the standard normal table, you will find that this probability is equal to 0.6664 and this probability is equal to 0.0869. So subtracting these two probabilities, we get 0.5795. So that means the probability that the diameter will lie between 5 inches and 10 inches is equal to 0.5795. So this is all about part C. Let's move to part D. In part D, we have to find the value of C such that this interval includes 98% of all diameter values. So that means we are given that the probability that x is greater than or equal to 8.8 minus c and less than equal to 8.8 plus c is equal to 0.98, and we have to find the value of c. So imagine it in this way. Say this is a normal distribution and we are given in the question that mean is equal to 8.8. So we have mean here, which is mu is equal to 8.8, and we are given the probability that x is between 8.8 minus c and 8.8 plus c is equal to 0.98. So let's say 8.8 minus c is p1 and 8.8 plus c is p2. P1 could be somewhere here and P2 could be somewhere here. So we are given that this area, the probability that x will lie in this area is 0.98 and P2 is equal to mu plus c, which is equal to 8.8 plus c, and P1 is equal to mu minus c, which is equal to 8.8 minus c, and we have to find the value of c. Now notice that this normal distribution is symmetric. So this means that this area, the area that I am shading right now, the probability that x will lie in this area will be equal to 0.98 divided by 2 because these two areas are symmetric. So that means the probability that x is greater than equal to mu and less than equal to 8.8 plus c is equal to 0.49, and we can write it in this way because normal distribution is a symmetric distribution. So these two sides are mirror images of each other. Okay, and similarly we can write the probability that x is greater than equal to 8.8 minus c and less than equal to mu is equal to 0.49. So this is because this curve is symmetric. Now let's proceed with this expression to find the value of c. So basically we are given that the probability that x is greater than equal to mu and less than equal to 8.8 plus c is equal to 0.49. Now we can normalize this. So we can write that this is equivalent to the probability mu minus mu divided by sigma less than equal to x minus mu divided by sigma less than equal to 8.8 plus c minus mu divided by sigma, and this is equal to 0.49. So this term is 0 because mu minus mu is equal to 0, less than equal to z because we know that this is z. We are given in the question that mu is equal to 8.8, so these two terms will cancel, this and this, and we will have here c divided by 2.8 because sigma is equal to 2.8 and this probability is equal to 0.49. So now our problem boils down to something like this. Say this is a standard normal distribution and here we have 0 and here we have c divided by 2.8, and we are given that this probability, the probability that x will lie in this area is 0.49, and we have to find the value of c. So we have the probability that z is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to c divided by 2.8 is equal to 0.49. And we can write this probability as the probability that z is less than equal to c divided by 2.8 minus the probability that z is less than equal to 0, and this is equal to 0.49. So we can write this probability in this manner. We know that because this standard normal distribution is symmetric, so the probability that z is less than equal to 0 is 0.5. When we say that the probability that z is less than equal to 0, we are talking about this entire area, and this entire area is 0.5. So we can write probability that z is less than equal to c divided by 2.8 minus 0.5 is equal to 0.49, and this is equal to probability that z is less than equal to c divided by 2.8 is equal to 0.99. Now let's have a look at the standard normal table to find the value of z corresponding to this probability. So as you can see here, we have probability value of 0.9901 here, and this corresponds to a z value of 2.33. So we can write that c divided by 2.8 is equal to 2.33 because that is the value of z that corresponds to this probability, and this implies that c is equal to 2.33 multiplied by 2.8, and this is equal to 6.524. So the value of c is 6.524, and this is what we wanted to find. So this is all for part D. Let's move to part E. If 4 trees are independently selected, what is the probability that at least one has a diameter exceeding 10 inches? Well, first of all, let y be a random variable that denotes the number of trees with diameter greater than 10 inches. So according to this definition, the possible values of y are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we have to find the probability that at least one has a diameter exceeding 10 inches. That means we have to find this probability, and by looking at the possible values of y, we can write that this is equal to 1 minus the probability that y is equal to 0. So this is the probability that we have to find, and then we can subtract this probability from 1 to get the desired probability. Now let's find the probability that y is equal to 0. So basically y is equal to 0 means that all the trees selected should have a diameter less than 10 inches. And note that all the trees are selected independently. This means that we have to find the probability that tree 1 has diameter less than 10 inches and tree 2 has diameter less than 10 inches and T3 has diameter less than 10 inches and T4 should also have diameter less than 10 inches. So this is tree 1, tree 2, tree 3 and tree 4. So all the trees should have diameter less than 10 inches. Well, we are given in the question that we are selecting the trees independently. So that means we can multiply all these probabilities. So we can write that the probability that y is equal to 0 is equal to the probability that t1 is less than 10 inches multiplied by the probability that t2, that is tree 2, is less than 10 inches multiplied by the probability that t3 is less than 10 inches and multiplied by the probability that T4 is less than 10 inches. And we can do this because we are given in the question that we are selecting the trees independently. Now the question is, what is this probability number? What is the probability that a randomly selected tree has a diameter less than 10 inches? Well, recall that in part A of this question, we found the probability that a randomly selected tree will have a diameter that will exceed 10 inches. And we found that this probability was equal to 0.3336. So now what would be the probability that a randomly selected tree will have a diameter less than 10 inches? Well, this is quite straightforward. It will be equal to 1 minus 0.3336 because 0.3336 is the probability that a randomly selected tree will have a diameter that will exceed 10 inches. Okay, and similarly for second tree we can write that the probability is 1 minus 0.3336. Similarly for tree number 3 and for tree number 4. So the probability that y is equal to 0 is 1 minus 0.3336 raised to the power 4. And we have to find the probability that y is greater than or equal to 1, which is equal to 1 minus probability that y is equal to 0. So the probability that y is greater than or equal to 1 is equal to 1 minus this probability. So 1 minus 1 minus 0.3336 raised to the power 4. And solving this, you will get 0.8028. So the probability that at least one tree selected has a diameter exceeding 10 inches is 0.8028. So this is all for part E, and with this we are done with this question.